3,
Now.
2,
Now.
now. 1, here, action. Quarantine Cocktail Show, Season 2, Episode 48. You may be saying, Paul, I didn't see a hint up tonight. Well, I intentionally, and by that I mean I forgot, to put a hint up until the last minute. But I will tell you why. It is totally deliberate. We're talking politics tonight. Yeah, we're going to good old USA politics. We're basically a week out from Election Day, and we got to have some political, don't worry, I'm going way deep into the politics, and it's all about the perfect cocktail, so it's a win-win. So tonight, Quarantine Cocktail Gin Rickey. How is the Gin Rickey political? Folks, come with me. We're going into the Blue Monkey Quarantine, the only business, monkey business, and I'm going to lay some history on you tonight. So unlike me. Yeah, here we are. Hey, first of all, I got to give out some huge shouts of joy. We sent out a little email blast tonight, just trying to dig deep for sponsorships. You know, we have kids now roaming the streets, looking at our house, wondering where the coats are, when does it happen? And we said, look, we don't have coats yet. We're still trying to get the money. So we sent out an email. Great. First of all, a shout out. Best funeral service, boom, top shelf as of today. Romero Funeral Home, boom, top shelf as today. Folks, if you're keeping score at home, that's 10. There's only 20 spots. That's only 10 left. See, 20 minus 10. There's only 10 left. We got to fill this up. And if you're on the fence, do I do it? I don't. Yeah, you do it. By the way, we also had Holly Sowers and the entire Enans at Sunset family. Boom, they're on the list on a premium. Resurrection Cemetery, boom, another one. Monica Williams, boom, another one. Folks, it's just pouring in. It's just a lot of love and gratitude, and we thank you for it. Now, back to the show. So, what are we doing? We're talking politics. Yeah, I'm going down that road. If you ever look at my Facebook feed, you'll notice one thing. I don't talk politics. Nope, I talk alcohol. But tonight's special. We're a week out, less than a week, and I feel like I gotta at least address it. So let me tell you how politics have made U.S. political history in the past. 1880s, all right? Oh, we got a timeout.
I want to clarify. Christine, did you just say Hunsaker will take a spot? If
Top
so,
shelf?
Top shelf? Which shelf?
Top shelf, 500.
I'll come back if she responds.
Boom. All right. So 1880s. Yeah, we're going back there for politics. Here's what was going on. Colonel Joe Rikki. Paul, I don't know him in politics, so he was a political lobbyist at the time, right? And actually, here's what's fun. I'm going to give you the date. The date, November 30th, 1883. All right? Now, you got to understand, 1883, there is...
Sorry, she said yup, and she's going to do $1,000.
Boom. Top shelf, another one. Folks, we're down to 9.
2 top shelves in 1.
2.
Thank you.
Done.
Thank you, Christine.
Down to 8. So, here it is. It's 1883, November 30th, and the political fever is afoot. And why is it afoot? Well, because we have Cleveland, who is in office. By the way, Cleveland, Grover Cleveland, he was actually our 22nd and 24th president. Yeah, do you know he's the only president to actually be elected twice, but separated by 1 term? Now you know. So anyway, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of excitement. Nobody expected him to win. He came in right after the Civil War. So there's a lot of things going on. And so much so it's like a Friday, Saturday night. There's a big debate at the Williams Bar. This is in D.C., Capitol Hill. And they're all hanging out. Of course, Colonel Rikki is there. And Colonel Rikki starts off the debate. And he says, so who's going to be it? Who's going to be the new Speaker of the House? And here were the 2 people that were kind of up for the position. You had Sam Randall, he was the favorite. Everybody said he's the shoo-in, he's it. But everything was a little bit amiss because of Cleveland. They didn't expect him to win. So there was another guy out there, and that was John Carlisle. And he was a young Southerner, and nobody thought he had a chance, but he was up and coming. So Colonel Rikki, he comes to the table and says, I'm going to wager a bet. Anybody interested to take it? $1,000 to anybody's $500 that Carlisle will be the new Speaker of the House. Now, it's a sucker bet. I mean, nobody thought he was going to make it. So somebody took him up on it and said, I will take that bet. Well, what they didn't know is Colonel Rikki, as a lobbyist, he had a little bit of an inside take. So sure enough, on Monday, Carlisle is appointed as Speaker of the House, and Rikki wins the bet. Now, if he gets $500, big deal. You don't understand, $500 back then, that's like over $10,000 today. This is a big bet. But Rikki, who is, Colonel Rikki, who's kind of this flamboyant, big shot guy, he says, I'm taking the group out. So there's like 8 people, hold on, wait, 8 people that they're all going to go out to dinner, all right? Now go.
John Evans, one from Norwalk, top shelf.
We're down to 7, folks.
Thank you, John.
We're selling them out. So, fast forward, right? It's Monday. He wins the bet. He says, I'm taking everybody out. We're going to celebrate on Tuesday. So, Tuesday, they go out, and Rikki has said, this is going to be the biggest dinner you've ever had in your life. How big of a dinner was it? It's so big that it started with breakfast, then lunch, and then dinner, drinks along the whole way. Fast forward to Wednesday. What happens on Wednesday? They all have a hangover. Yeah. Apparently Rikki was pretty well known for putting on a good old party and everybody waking up hungover. So Wednesday morning, they're at the bar. And Rikki gets up and says this. Gentlemen, I am going to invent a new drink that will be one of the best we've ever had. This guy doesn't mess around. So what's he do? He tells the barkeep, he says, Barkeep, I see you have some limes back there. Not typical for this season, but I'm going to need you to squeeze one of those limes into a glass. He says, then I need you to reach back there, get us the finest bourbon. Pour enough bourbon, just the right amount for us to drink. And then I need you to top it off with some soda water. And then some ice. So it all happens, they make it. He holds it up, he gives one to everybody. He said, I now christen this the Rikki. Yeah, he made the Rikki. That was it. That's how the drink came about. And it took off. It became very popular except for one thing. Some way, somehow, people started drinking it with gin. And it became the Gin Rickey that we know today. Now, we're going to make one. Paul, for God's sakes, make one. Now, this is a little different. No tins, no nothing. We're building it in a glass. And we're going to build it the way, other than the bourbon, because this is the drink that, this is the Rikki, the Gin Rickey that everyone knows. So, what do? We're going to take 1 lime. It's about a half per each one. Now, they would have just squeezed it fresh, but I'm going to cheat a little bit because I got this lovely juicer, and I do want to make sure we get enough juice in here. So, don't over squeeze it though, because he was particular. He didn't want the oils from the skin. So, we're going to go 1 lime, half a lime, and then you're going to discard your lime shell into the glass. That was part of his drink. You dropped it in afterwards. Next drink. 1 for me, 1 for Shelby. Lime in. Then the next step was the gin. Now, you want to go with something that would have been representative of the time. I'm going to go with an older gin, which is Old Tom Gin. Well, how do you know that's an older gin? Because it's called Old Tom Gin. I mean, it's old. It's no. So this was a gin that would have been around during this time. Oh, there's the perfect pour of 2.
Does that mean that all the other drinks that came out of that were properly measured
Yeah.
for it to come out even?
It had to be. And we have good friends. That's why we're already on to yet another bottle of Old Tom Gin. Ah, the gurgle. 2 for Shelby. Now, the next thing you do, you're coming in with your ice. One more. Last thing. You're coming in with seltzer water. Now, let me clarify something here as this settles. Some of you may be sitting there right now going, Paul, all this is a Tom Collins. No. Why is it not a Tom Collins? Let me give you a few reasons. First of all, a Tom Collins is lemon. Ricky's are limes. So there's your first thing. Second of all, these are built in a highball glass. Tom Collins is built in a Collins glass. Yeah, is there really a difference? There really is. A Collins glass is typically wider and shorter. It'll hold about 12 ounces. A Collins will. A Rikki glass is narrower but taller, and it'll hold about 10 ounces. Okay, so that's not the biggest thing you'll ever notice, but there is a difference. The other big thing, if you've noticed, we haven't put any sugar in this. Some recipes will say a Rikki should have simple syrup. No, the original had no sugar. This is a 0-cal, as far as sugar goes, drink. Very healthy. And then the last thing, so people will say, okay, Paul, now it's just a gin and tonic then. No, it's not. And here's why. We're not using tonic, we're using seltzer. Go back to our waters. There's 4 waters that you could actually use in a drink other than flat water. 1, sparkling. 2, club soda. 3, seltzer water. 4, tonic. What's the difference? Sparkling water. Basically, that's mineral water that has natural carbonation and natural minerals. So it comes from the ground and it's already natural, everything. That's your mineral water. Club soda is similar to mineral water except for this. You add the minerals to it. So they pick what minerals they want to create the flavor they want, and then they also add the carbonation. We're not using that because of that extra flavoring. They didn't have soda water back in 1880s. What they did have was seltzer water, or and the reason they had seltzer water was it was just basically water, and then they would add the carbonation to it, but there is no minerals. So it tastes more like a kind of a bubbly water. It allows the alcohol to come out. Now the last one, which we're not using, which is delicious, tonic, I mean, who doesn't like tonic water, is also the most unhealthy version of all of these. It's got the most flavor by far. That's because they add sugar to it. Some of the cheaper brands actually use high fructose corn. You pipe it. Some of the cheaper brands will use high fructose corn syrup, which is horrible, and then they also all use quinine. So we're going seltzer water, plain, simple. Top off your drink with a little bit of seltzer water. Last thing, and Rikki knew about this. It was in some later versions of his. Rikki would take just a little bit of when he was lobbying. He used to push this. He was one of the first lobbyists to actually get Congress to talk about emergency. Yeah, Rikki, he did it. Colonel Rikki, he knew what it was. Anyway, a little sprinkle right on top. Boom. Rikki, don't lose my number. Rikki, don't lose my emergency. Not sponsoring us, but we sponsor you. Folks, the last thing you got to do, we got to have a garnish. You know me. No drink goes ungarnished. I know there's already a little bit of lime in here, but I want to smell it on the top, and I want to see it on the drink. So we're just going to do that right there, and we're going to go right there. Folks, boom, there it is. Quarantine Gin Rickeys all around. How are they? Now I'm a big gin fan, so I already know I'm going to love it. But I think this would be a new favorite. By the way, DC, Washington, D.C. just recently named this the official drink of Washington, D.C. All because of Colonel Rikki. So what's great about that is it's very gin forward, but if you use a good gin, you've got that lime that kind of cuts it, but it's not this big sweet drink, right? And then the sparkling, just a little bit of bubble into it. That's fantastic. That's a fantastic drink. I will tell you, this is going to be my new go-to gin drink. No more gin and tonics. I'm going Gin Rickeys when I go out. Paul, the Gin Rickey man. I don't think that'll stick. Oh, couple last things. The glasses. Those are Blue Monkey Quarantine highball glasses. Had somebody ask me, said, Paul, really want to get some of your merch and some of the barware, but is it dishwasher safe? Folks, we have tried everything out. All the glassware, shakers, all dishwasher safe. However, the books that we sell, they're not dishwasher safe. We tried those as well. Keep the dishwasher, or the books out of the dishwasher. Barware only in there. All right. I'm going to leave you with 2 quotes. Are you ready for this? First one. Actually, the first quote I'm going to leave you with was actually from Colonel Rikki himself. So this is about 1900. The drink has become very popular. Done by nobody but himself. I mean, he is out there promoting his drink. And he's at a bar, and somebody orders a Gin Rickey. And he stands up at the bar and says, "Gin Rickey? There is no such drink." Because remember, he made this and wanted it to be a bourbon drink. But he lost the battle. Actually, shortly after he lost his life. But another story, another episode. I'll leave you one more good Colonel quote that I think is even better. And it's from another Rikki. It's from Ricky Bobby. And as Ricky Bobby quoted the late Colonel Sanders, "I'm too drunk to taste this chicken." So I leave you with that. Oh, Ricky Bobby.
What kind of hump is this one?
Oh, what kind of hump? Do you think I'm not going to hump you? It's Wednesday. You've just been humped by the Colonel. Yeah. You got Colonel Hump tonight, folks, and thanks for being here with us. And I'm going to sit down and have myself a Colonel Hump right now. Delicious stuff, folks. Enjoy your Wednesday. Enjoy your hump day. Make yourself a little Gin Rickey, quarantine style. Folks, I appreciate everybody who's helped us out with the coat drive. We are in full swing. Our push is to order coats in about a week. So drop in those donations, get some barware so you can make your own Gin Rickey or whatever it is that makes you warm. But remember, while you're getting warm, we're making kids warm. And you're doing it by alcohol, we're doing it through coats. And again, I know I mentioned this, we tried the alcohol straight to the kids to keep them warm, and it is frowned upon. Seriously frowned upon. So we gotta get the alcohol. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, love you all. Cheers.
Chink.
Good night. See you Sunday.